Well, hello, everybody. I hope you are well. My name is Eric Laquerre. I have the pleasure of being your host today to discover everything there is to know about Super Patch. You'll uncover the amazing business that is Super Patch, the tremendous technology, breakthrough technology behind Super Patch. And let's dive right in, because let me tell you, for many years now, over a decade, I've been involved in this industry of health and wellness, and I have never seen something this phenomenal in all that time. When I saw what you're about to see today, I was absolutely amazed at the potential, at the impact, and at the lives that are going to be changed thanks to this information that you're going to hear about today. So let's dive right in. I don't want to waste any time before talking about the juicy stuff. Let's start with the mission, because behind any company, there's a mission. And the mission of Super Patch is simple: bringing a drug-free solution for health and performance. That sounds simple, but in today's day and age, we have lots and lots and lots of solutions that have a lot of side effects, a lot of contraindications, a lot of different things that not everybody wants, right? And to provide this drug-free solution that is safe, that is tested, that is proven, and more importantly, especially today in 2026, is affordable. People are worried about what they can afford, so this needs to be a solution that is affordable. That's the mission behind Super Patch. And the man behind that mission, behind the company, the man, the myth, the legend that created all of this is Mr. Jay Dhaliwal. You see, Jay went on a quest to help his mother's health. And through that quest, he was able to break some old paradigms of medicine and neurology. He really discovered something that no one else figured out before him. Just like someone figured out the light bulb before anyone else. Just like someone figured out the internet before anyone else. He figured this out. He figured out that the future is not into a pill. The future is in a neural signal. And after 17 years of research and over $40 million invested, he was able to decode the human neural code for health and wellness. Basically, how our brain is balancing all the stuff that is happening constantly in our bodies. And this allowed him to develop this amazing technology we're talking about today. And it really gives a real hope for a drug-free world in the future. So this became Jay's purpose in life today and forever. And he said this very famous quote now: "I'm here to build something generational." That's the key word, generational, that will transform the world. Anything else is a waste of time. So what you're hearing about tonight is not just a technology. It's an amazing way, if you choose to get implicated and help us in that journey, in that mission. This is a fantastic way to provide an extra source of income for yourself, for your family, and for generations to come. That's the generational aspect of this, because it took us many generations to get to where we are today, into this pharmaceutical enhanced world. And the drug-free aspect will take probably multiple generations to get there as well. And so that purpose is driven and is powered by the people, right? The technology and the people, meaning me and you, and you'll see how you fit into that whole equation. And this amazing business of Super Patch that was specifically designed to serve, scale, and succeed like never before, because this has never existed before. And so, are you ready to discover this amazing limitless business? And the limitless is the key word here, because already, right now, currently, every single year, people are already spending $4.7 trillion on current solutions that are not ideal. 6 billion people can benefit from this technology. That's a lot of people. That's 80% of the world can take part and really have a benefit from this technology. And we're talking about a technology that is globally protected in 186 countries in the world. What does that mean? That means that nobody can copy it, nobody can duplicate it, nobody can counterfeit it. The only way to get access to this technology is to go through this company, Super Patch, right? So that means there's no competition. We are literally in a blue ocean with nobody else doing what we're doing. So today you're not going to hear about another collagen product, another healthy coffee product. You're hearing about something that is completely disruptive. And any sufficiently advanced technology, it's going to look like it's almost like a magic trick, right? Like the first time a light bulb was shown to the world, people couldn't believe it, right? That's insane. How is that possible? Every breakthrough technology went through this, wow, it looks like magic. Like today, we take this piece of technology for granted. But if you roll back time, not even as far as 100 years ago, and you would tell them that with this little brick, you could press it a few times and you can speak to somebody in real time, and you can actually see them in real time in your pocket 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, people would think you're nuts, right? But today we take this technology for granted. Back then it would have looked like a magic trick. How did you fit this person in this tiny box, right? But today we take this for granted, even though I could not tell you how my iPhone works. No idea, right? I don't know how the iPhone technology works. I don't know how the Zoom technology works. I don't know how the internet works. I don't know how the electrical wiring of my house works. All I know is I press this button, this light turns on, right? Whatever's in between, I don't know. All I know is I press this works, right? And any disruptive technology needs to be 10 times better than whatever's before it. If not, it's not disruptive. It's not, if it's not 10 times, at least 10 times better, then it's just a me too. It's just a little twist. It's just a small improvement on something that exists. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about something completely disruptive. And in order to explain that technology, I'm not the best person to explain it. I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not a neurosurgeon. We have a little video that explains it way better than I could. So I'm going to play this little video real quick, and I will be right back.
On average, it covers about 21 square feet. Bigger than a typical door frame. It comprises 15% of your body weight and contains 11 miles of blood vessels. I'm talking about the biggest organ in the human body, your skin. And now, the Super Patch Company is unlocking the superpowers of human skin. Your skin protects you from invaders like germs, helps you regulate your body temperature, and allows you to feel tactile sensations like hot, cold, rough, and soft. In fact, the Nobel Prize was awarded to a couple of doctors who unlocked the secrets of our body's sense of touch and temperature. Imagine you have a tiny team of workers inside your body. When your skin experiences something hot or cold, or something touches your skin, these workers send messages to your brain telling you what's happening. They're called ion channels, and these sensors are the key to a new cutting-edge technology utilized by the Super Patch Company. This elegant and effective technology has gone through clinical studies, and the amazing results have been published in peer-reviewed science journals. And their benefits are game-changing. For example, let's talk about pain. The Freedom Super Patch focuses on pain management. Users of the patch reported a 72% reduction in pain within minutes, and the relief lasts for 24 hours. Here's how this amazing technology works. It's well known that our minds regulate our physiology. The autonomic nervous system and other neural networks, much like computer programs in our mind, control every aspect of our physical lives, from our heart and breathing rates to sleep and pain. But these networks can become dysfunctional or damaged due to factors like illness, stress, injury, or the environment. And when your neural networks stop working optimally, it can affect every aspect of your health. So to utilize these neural pathways, those ion channels, the Super Patch Company has been developing skin stimulation technology for more than 12 years. It's called Haptic Vibrotactile Trigger Technology, or VTT. Each super patch contains very fine ridges that stimulate receptors in your skin. Think of them as braille for the brain. And the unique patterns of these ridges help reboot a specific neural program. When these ridges touch the skin, the stimulation starts instantly correcting those neural programs, essentially rewiring your brain. We're talking about life-changing benefits. For example, more than 50 million Americans have sleep disorders. And according to the National Institute of Health, insufficient sleep is estimated to have a negative annual impact on the US economy of more than $400 billion. Studies have shown that people who wear the REM super patch for 2 weeks fall asleep 48% faster and get almost 25% more sleep at night. Every year, more than 36 million falls are reported among older Americans, and studies show that balance is the most reliable biomarker for longevity. In other words, if you have good balance and stability, the more likely you are to live longer. Studies on the Liberty Super Patch reveal that it can improve balance and stability by more than 30%. This is all done without drugs, electronic stimulation, or therapies. Most importantly, the patches are safe and easy to use. 100% drug and chemical free. No ingredients or supplements, and there are no contraindications or side effects. It's great to be active. It's even better to be proactive. The Super Patch, backed by research, proven by science.
So there you have it. Way better explanation that I could have ever done. So those are the super patches. 13 revolutionary products, revolutionary patches, technologies that are drug-free for health, wellness, and performance. 13 of them. And when I hear this video, what I retain is that, and I'll show you one of those patches here. I don't know if you can see from, there you go, from the camera, those little ridges on the patch. What I understand is those ridges on the patch, when they touch the skin, send a signal to the brain, and the brain auto-regulates to work better. But that's the key, the right signal to send to the brain. That's how I explain it, or I just share that video. That's the easiest thing. If anybody asks, how does it work? You're allowed to say, I don't know. I'm not a neurosurgeon. I'm not a neuroscientist, and share that little video with them, right? Because you don't need to understand exactly how your cell phone works to use the cell phone. Same thing. All you need to do is put the patch on your skin and you're good to go. So 100% drug-free, amazing benefits. And let's take a look at those amazing benefits. The video talked about the Freedom Patch for pain management. Amazing. Now think about how huge the pain market is. There's a tremendous amount of people that are dealing with pain on a daily basis. Some it's just like they hit their elbow on the desk type of pain. Others, it's because they got an injury. Others, it's migraines. There's so many different types of pain, right? And some people are not allowed to take painkillers or pain meds because they're drivers, because they're surgeons, because their jobs does not permit them to use a medication for it. So they're living in pain all day long. We have a drug-free solution for that, non-invasive, no contraindications. That is a multi-billion-dollar product on its own, the Freedom Patch. Next, we have a patch to improve your natural energy state without any sugar, any caffeine, any taurine, none of that stuff, no jitters, no crashes, no wings, no bulls, no monsters, none of that stuff, right? Just clean, natural energy that lasts all day, 12 plus hours of energy with no side effects, non-invasive. You don't need to drink anything. That's a phenomenal patch right there. The Liberty Patch is one that was covered in the video for balance and stability, #1 biomarker. And this unique patch we use to do what we call the demonstration or the Liberty experience or the balance assessment. Call it whatever you want to call it. We can actually feel this technology working in a matter of seconds. Like we can go through this experience, and that's where the magic aspect of it comes into play, because you can actually feel it right away. We do this little exercise together without the technology, then we put the technology on you, and you feel the difference right then and there. You don't need to wait 3 months and take it twice a day with or without food, right? It's right here, right now. So this is if you've never gone through this Liberty experience yourself, do yourself a favor. Call back the person who invited you or send them a text and let them know, hey, what's this Liberty experience about? I want to go through it, or I want to see it. Let's say you're in New York City and someone from Chicago invited you and you can't meet in person. They're going to send you a video of themselves going through that experience. It is mind-blowing. This really shows how powerful this technology really is. So that's the Liberty Patch. There's another patch that was covered in the video that helps people sleep better, fall asleep faster, sleep longer and deeper. This patch alone, 6 billion people can use this patch today. They could use it today. They could improve their sleep, their quality of life, because sleep is really our first superpower as humans. We all know that if we don't sleep correctly for 2 or 3 nights in a row, everything is bad, right? Our emotions are out of whack. Our patience is low. Our immune system is low. Everything is off the radar. No good. But then on the flip side, if we sleep correctly for 2 or 3 nights in a row, we feel much better, right? So sleep is absolutely critical in a health and wellness routine. And so all you can do is just put this little patch on an hour to 30 minutes before you go to sleep and then just fall asleep. That is a wonderful patch. Again, multi-billion-dollar product right there with the REM patch. Then we have the Peace Patch, which is there to help us with our feelings of stress and anxiety. Everybody in 2026 feels some sort of stress for 1,000 different reasons, right? There used to be a time where the only time we actually felt stress was when a dinosaur was running or a bear was running at us, right? But now we're feeling stress for 1,001 different reasons. And sure, you could do yoga, you could do lots of different things, meditation, but the reality is in 2026, most people don't have the time to do all those things. So the Peace Patch comes into play, drug-free, non-invasive, and the best way I can explain it is it's almost like doing 2 hours of meditation in about 5 minutes. You put the Peace Patch on, and in about 5 minutes, you feel this calmness that just comes into your life, and it's a wonderful, wonderful patch. This patch alone, I'm sure, is saving some couples of and saving some arguments, right? Just calm yourself down. Put the Peace Patch on, and you're good to go. Next, we have the Defend Patch, which is there to improve and support our immune system. So you can wear this patch. I've been wearing this patch every single day for 2 years now, and so far, knock on wood, I have not been sick during the holiday seasons, during the Christmas parties, during the family parties. So whether you're working like in a school with children and you need to improve your immune system or support your immune system, whether you're traveling a lot or whatever the reason is, if you're looking for a better immune system, the Defend Patch is there for you. It also helps with blood flow. I mean, it's a tremendous, tremendous patch right there. Also helps with allergy season. Next, the Focus Patch for better attention, better focus, better memory. There's lots of students that would deeply need more focus, more attention. And this goes back to these little devices. I think these little devices are teaching our brain to have an attention span that is even shorter than a goldfish nowadays, right? And unfortunately, there are some people that are taking the pharmaceutical way to focus, right? They're chemically changing their bodies to reach better focus. But we have the patch before the pill, right? Sometimes the medication is necessary, but why not try the focus patch with no drugs, no ingredients, no supplements, no side effects, non-invasive. Just put the patch on and it will activate the neural networks of your brain to put that attention, that focus network back online in a few minutes. The focus patch is not only good for students, it could be for kids, for adults, for anybody, men, women, all the patches, there's no limits. Doesn't matter what language you speak, what religion you believe in, which part of the world you grew up in, it doesn't matter. As long as you have skin and a brain, this technology will work for you. Now, of course, the kids that are very young, it's better to, not put them here because they're going to play on it with it and then they're going to try to eat it. So put it on their back maybe, but there's no real limits to this technology. Just put it on your skin, clean, dry skin with the least amount of hair as possible. Next, we have the Ignite patch, which is there to improve your metabolism. It will make you burn up to 25% more calories at rest. What does that mean? That means that you could listen to this presentation while wearing the Ignite patch, and you would burn up to 25% more calories. That means that you can watch Netflix and burn more calories. That means that you can burn more calories while you sleep. You see what I'm saying? This is a hack, a hack for burning more calories, simply wearing the patch. Now, of course, it does not combat eating 32 extra pieces of pizza per week. Right? So if you continue eating way more calories than you burn, then don't think about this as a weight loss patch. Think about this as a metabolic patch, right? This one is a burning calorie patch. And we all know that if we burn more calories than we eat, we end up losing weight. So this is a tremendous tool for anybody that's on a weight loss journey or anybody that wants to maintain their weight but kind of have those, stuff that they like to eat, but that we all know that we shouldn't eat, but they taste so damn good, right? So we eat them anyway sometimes. So that is the Ignite patch. If you want to burn more calories, the Ignite patch is for you. Next, we have the Joy patch, which is there to help us with our mood, lifting our mood, giving us that feeling of joy, happiness, positivity. The best way I can explain this one is sometimes we wake up and it feels like everything is gray, right? There's a gray cloud overhead. It's raining on us only. Everything is wrong. Everything is negative. And you put and I don't know if you can see the image, that logo of the Joy patch is sunshine. It is literally bringing sunshine back into your life, giving that positivity, good outlook, good mood. Try it. You will love it. And we had the joyful season last month, right? With Christmas and everything. People were actually giving joy as a gift, right? So you could actually give joy to all the Grinches out there. We have another patch called Kick It to help you break bad habits. So whatever it is, it could be drinking, smoking, gambling, social media addiction, sugar cravings, it could be whatever. As long as you have the intention of wanting to quit the bad behavior, but that mental shortcut is so strong that you always go back to the bad behavior, right? We all know these people that want to quit smoking. They've tried 15 times, and now they say, I'm going to try one more time, and we all know what's going to happen. They always go back to their old habits, right? It's because that mental shortcut is so strong. The Kick It patch comes there, breaks the mental shortcut, and helps you rebuild positive feedback, positive habits. Because everything is a habit, right? It could be a good habit or a bad habit. So it helps you build good habits. So Kick It patch, phenomenal. We have another patch, which is the Lumi for the skin quality. We're talking about improving your complexion, having more of a natural glow, better hydration, more elasticity. And so if you're looking for better skin, whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter. If you're looking for better skin, less wrinkles, less pimples, more even tone, less redness, this is the patch for you. Then we have another patch that was specifically designed for men. It's called the Rocket Patch. It gives men a more natural, increased stamina, more endurance. It supports libido. It enhances physical and mental performance. So, guys, if you're watching this right now and you're of a certain age, and by a certain age, I mean probably over mid-30s, right? You should try this patch just for fun, just to see what it does to you. It's going to make you feel like you're in your mid-20s again, okay? And this is the unique patch that depending on your age, you're going to want to wear it for a minimum amount of time before actually feeling the results. This is the only patch where you have this, okay? So depending on your age, if you're 50 years old or over, you want to wear the Rocket Patch every day for at least 3 weeks. If you're anywhere between 40 and 50, you want to wear the Rocket Patch every day for at least 2 weeks to start feeling the effects. And if you're under 40, wear the Rocket Patch for at least 1 week, and then you'll start feeling the effects, start feeling that performance of when you were in your mid-20s. And so, again, those patches, all the patches are good for 24 hours. Right? So when I say you wear it for 3 weeks, you're not wearing this one patch on your skin for 3 weeks in a row. Every 24 hours, we're going to ask you to remove the patch, put it in the garbage, take a shower, clean yourself off, dry yourself off, take a fresh new patch, and apply it somewhere else. The reason for it is because the material of the patch, it's like a surgical tape, basically, that's made by 3M, and it is... because of the sensitivity, not the sensitivity, the heat, body heat, right, and the sweat, the structural integrity of those ridges that you can see right here, it starts to lose the structural integrity after the 24-hour mark. So it's not that after 24 hours and 1 second it stops working, okay? It's just that the pattern is going to start morphing a little bit, and the signal is going to be less and less and less effective. So if you want the best results, it is recommended to remove it around the 24-hour mark, clean yourself off, dry yourself off, and put a fresh new patch on. So this goes for the Rocket Patch, but any other patch after the 24-hour mark, you remove it and you put a fresh new one on. And then lastly, we have the Victory Patch, which is the one I'm wearing right now. I wear this one every single day, 24 hours a day. Again, every day I remove it, I put a fresh new one. This is the Athletic Performance Patch. So more strength, more stamina, more endurance, more power, better flexibility, more VO2 max production, right? The clinical study on this one is coming out very, very soon, and we can actually see the improvement of the recovery, right? So if you're an athlete, whether you're a professional athlete, Olympian athlete, or an amateur athlete that wishes secretly that you were a professional athlete like myself, I wish I was a professional athlete, or maybe you're not an athlete at all, you're not playing sports, you're not working out at the gym, but you have a very physically demanding job, the Victory Patch is right for you because it's going to give you that natural, better strength, but more importantly, the recovery, right? So if you're working in construction, for example, or you're lifting heavy things every single day, the Victory Patch, try it. You will absolutely love it. So why is the Super Patch technology, the VTT technology behind the Super Patches, why is it better than anything else? Well, because the worst thing that can happen with those patches is nothing. That's the worst thing that can happen. The best thing that can happen is something. And I want you to understand what I'm saying. If you don't have pain in your body, for example, and you're putting the Freedom Patch, nothing's happening. Right? Your brain receives the signal, okay, handle the pain, diminish the pain, and your brain says, what pain? There is no pain, therefore nothing happens. But if you don't feel any pain, and you buy some pain pills, and then you pop the pain pills, something chemically is changing in your body, right? And something's happening with your liver, something's happening, like lots of things are changing in your body, even though there is no pain. So that's the beauty about this technology. There are no side effects, right? So that's one thing that I love, but it's 100% drug-free. no chemicals, there's no side effects, it's non-invasive, and you are reaping the rewards of this technology for the long term because you're able, over a period of time, after a few months, you're able to rewire your brain so that your brain is able to work better for a little bit longer, right? So that's a phenomenal aspect of this technology, where you're not going to become dependent on this technology. It's not a crutch. It's actually a ladder, because this technology unlocks your own human potential, right? When you put the balance patch, the Liberty patch for balance, on somebody, there's no balance ingredient in this patch, right? It's only unlocking the access of the program in the brain, in the mind, that is managing and controlling balance and stability. So this is a ladder that gives you the best performance that you can be. It makes you a better you, simply put. And the best thing, like the short video says, it's backed by science, backed by research. Over 10 clinical studies have been peer-reviewed, published. So this technology is making waves right now. And it's trusted by doctors, trusted by athletes, trusted by their families. It is the best leading neural technology in the world right now. And the cool thing is, those are new studies, right? But the finding and the creation of this technology rests upon the shoulders of much older findings, much older research, as old as 1939. You see, in 1939, 2 doctors won the Nobel Prize for showing to the world and proving scientifically that every single cell in our bodies are communicating, are receiving and sending signals constantly. That's why on December 29th, 1939, in the New York Post, there was an article in the journal that says that basically humans, our bodies, are like giant radio stations, giant radio antennas, because every single one of our cells are receiving and sending signals constantly. So if somebody says, this can't work, what are you talking about? Oh, I don't understand how the skin can send a signal to the brain. Well, what do you mean? When you put your hand close to the hot stove, I certainly hope that your skin sends a signal to your brain that this is hot, don't put your hand there, right? So that's one type of signal. Heat, cold, soft, right? All the stuff that's generated by our skin sending that signal to the brain. And every part of our body is communicating with one another. So that's old science, 1939 old. But more recently, in 2021, two men, Dr. Julius and Artem Pataputian, also won the Nobel Prize, for this time for something a little bit different. They actually were able to pinpoint and demonstrate the actual transducers in our skin, those ion channels that the little video talks about. They're the ones that figured out those ion channels that can actually be activated to create a very specific signal to the brain. And so the technology of the VTT of Superpatch rests upon the shoulders of very old science that was able to leverage this amazing texture, this amazing technology. And like I said, it's making waves in the health practitioner of the world, right? So we have an amazing advisory board of doctors that are more and more discovering this amazing new technology that does not need a prescription, that does not have any side effects, that has no downside, only upside. That is phenomenal. And so now they're adopting it, they're researching it, they're sharing it with their patients. They're absolutely loving it. And more we're attracting more doctors, more health professionals, more professional athletes. And so that's why it's no surprise that the success of Superpatch has been so great to date, because it's been designed that way, right? We know for sure that the world has all these problems, right? You know, people in your phone, all the names, all the contacts in your phone can at least use 1 or 2 of these patches, right? Maybe for different things, maybe more. So that's why in 2023, the first year in business of Superpatch, $60 million in sales. 2024, a little bit over $100 million in sales. Right now, we're available in over 30 countries, 34 to be exact. 10 plus studies that have been peer-reviewed, published, and to date, over 100 million of those little squares have been sold so far. And so we are reaching slowly the world, gradually, step by step by step. We started in January 2023 with North America, June 2023 with the UK and the European Union. And then last year, 2025, we opened Switzerland and Mexico. And so the world is still going to be reached by this amazing technology very, very shortly. We're only 3 years old. Only 3 years old. In fact, yesterday was the 3-year anniversary of Super Patch. So everybody needs one of these patches. Nobody knows about it. This screams an amazing opportunity, and this is why we're building a $500 billion business, because everybody needs at least one of them. At least one of them. And yet they have not heard of Super Patch yet. This is where you can come in, right? And we know this because of market research. We know that there's 6 billion people that can improve their sleep. There's 2 billion people that are looking for more energy, right? Cognitive performance, calorie control, stress relief. There's billions of people looking for solutions, and they're already paying for solutions that are not ideal, not providing them with the results that they're looking for. And on top of that, some of those solutions are providing side effects. So we are uniquely placed with a disruptive technology with zero competition, addressing the biggest needs for health and wellness in the world, and nobody knows about this yet. So you're uniquely positioned to take advantage of this great opportunity. And this product, this technology is perfect for the MLM network marketing model, because it is a product that can be instantly demonstratable. You can feel it, you can show it, you can demonstrate it right away, anywhere, any place, super easy. Very effective product that works now. The benefits are amazing, and more importantly, we're building an infinity business, because guess what? Pain, stress, sleep issues, those things are never going away. Never going away. If you roll back time 2,000 years ago, people had pain, they had sleep issues, they had energy problems, and they felt stress, right? And if you go 2,000 years in the future, those problems will still exist. So we're actually building recurring revenue of addressing issues that will never go away, right? And there's very simple and low-cost ways to get started with this. But the MLM model, there's plenty of MLM companies. There's plenty of network marketing companies, right? This is just a business model, just like franchising, just like retailing. But specifically, Super Patch is uniquely positioned with amazing advantages that no other network marketing or MLM company has. The fact that it's globally protected, the intellectual property is globally protected in 186 countries in the world, this is key. No competition. Nobody can copy it. It took 17 years to create, over $40 million of R&D. There's nobody that's going to recreate this, right? So there's zero competition. We have solutions to address mass market opportunity. Those 13 patches, and there's 2 more on the way that will be released next month. So we'll have 15 patches, are addressing problems for 6 billion humans, already spending $4.7 trillion. So we know the market is massive and growing. Obviously, we have product that works with the clinical studies and the tens of thousands of testimonials online. But more importantly, we have a product, a technology that works fast. And this is key, folks. This is key in 2026 to have something that works right away. People are not willing to wait. There's people that signed up to a gym January 2nd, and they're already canceled their membership because it takes too long to get a six-pack ab, right? You know, that's the truth. People have no patience anymore. If the website takes more than 10 seconds to load, they're freaking out, right? There used to be a time where it took 2 minutes to load for a website. People have no patience anymore. So if you ask people to consume a product or use a product for months before seeing any results, you lost them. We can actually show the results within seconds. So this is a huge advantage of Super Patch. Also, the uniqueness of this technology is that we don't need to change the lifestyle of people. You don't need to change what you're doing on a daily basis. All you need to do is patch and go. Very simple. Peel the patch, stick it on, you're good to go. You don't need to count calories. You don't need to start working out if you don't like working out. You don't need to change anything else than just putting the patch on. Even if you don't want it to work, the signal still sends through your brain, right? So that's the unique thing. If you like to drink wine, you can actually drink wine as you're applying the patch. It's going to work the exact same way, right? So it doesn't matter. No change required. No lifestyle change required. And then the perfect pricing. This is also very key. It needs to be affordable. If this technology was $20,000 a month, only the 1% would use it. Only the top athletes, only the rich and famous would use it, right? But they're already having access to the best of the best in the world. What about us? What about us, the regular folks that have pain, sleep issues, energy problems? What about us, right? That's why this technology is super affordable. We're talking about roughly $3 a day for one patch. Very, very affordable. There's people that are waiting in line 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes for their caffeine sugar drink, and they overpay $5, $6, $8, $9 even sometimes for their fix of 2 hours of energy, and then they have a crash and burn. We have a patch for roughly $3 that gives you all day energy. Hello? Like, that's a no-brainer. So we have a very, very affordable price for consumers. We have a co-op marketing program that is absolutely revolutionary. I can't get into details onto this call because it would take too long, but let me give you the rough estimate, the rough idea. Imagine joining us and getting paid on customers that are using the patches, but that you never talk to, that you don't even know, that they don't know you. The company attracted them, and together we're covering the cost of the marketing, and together we're covering the revenue generated by those customers. This is absolutely amazing. Ask the person who invited you on the call. They'll tell you a little bit more about this program. And lastly, we have the regulatory and clinical compliance, which is absolutely key. If you're going to have a product today, it needs to be compliant. It needs to be registered. That's why we have the FDA registration, Health Canada registration, the peer-reviewed studies, the fact that it's 3M that produces the film and the glue. This is surgical grade tape, which is another key feature. It's the same product everywhere. 34 countries, the exact same patches everywhere. You don't need to change the formula. You don't need to change an ingredient. There are no ingredients, right? The only thing that's changing is a language in the back of the packaging. That's it. The technology itself, nothing changes. We're all humans. We're all coded. This is the human neural code, the same product everywhere in the world. Now, why do these market advantages matter? Very, very simple. In 2026, there's too much empty hype. There's too many empty promises, too many scams. There's too many products that are the same. Like I said, we don't need today in 2026, I don't believe we need another healthy coffee brand, another whiskey brand, another collagen product brand. There's too many similar products out there. We need something completely different, completely disruptive. And frankly, there's too many network marketing companies. There's no need for 2,500 network marketing companies, right? So people are financially exhausted because of the inflation, because of all the systemic issues in the economy. And unfortunately, those problems are not going away anytime soon. So people are finding themselves in need of cash quickly, right now, but also for the long term. And this is a statistic from the United States. Unfortunately, 66% of people do not have an extra $500 saved in case of emergencies. So if you were standing at the bus station, the person to your right, the person to your left, there's a good chance that both of them don't have an extra $500 saved up if they have any emergencies. This is a problem. This is a big problem waiting to happen. So what are the options in today's day and age? They told us that the gig economy would be our great solution. It's basically getting a second job, right? So you're going to have your full-time job, and then you're going to work this other gig part-time that's going to give you extra money. That's great. That works. That increases the money into the family's budget. But there are amazing limitations that are completely not there with the super patch economy, right? If you're driving Uber Eats part-time or even full-time as a full-time gig, sure, you can make extra money, you can make quick cash, but you can only deliver those pizzas in your neighborhood. If you live in New York City, you're not going to deliver a pizza slice by Uber Eats to somebody in Paris. But if you're building the super patch economy, you can actually ship some products from the company to your friend in Paris if you live in New York City. In any of the 34 countries that we're in, the company will ship products for you on your behalf to all those countries. That's amazing, right? So there's no limits of markets. There's no limits of geographic location. We have a global economy. There's no limits in scale because you're not going to scale your Uber driving business. If you're not driving, you're not earning, right? We're able to build residual income as people purchase those patches month in and month out. And so there's tremendous, tremendous advantages at building the super patch economy, right? You're building something that scales, that's transferable to your kids, to the next generation. Remember that key word, generational solutions, right? Generational wealth. You're actually passing something through your family. So there's different ways that you can get involved with the super patch company. You could be a product user. You've seen the 13 patches. There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you can use yourself, that your family can use. So you could be a product user. Or you could be a promoter. A promoter is somebody that shares this technology, invites people to a Zoom like this, and helps people discover the VTT technology of super patch. And as people purchase those patches, they're getting a little reward, right? That's a promoter. Or you could join as a business builder to help us build the distribution network of this great technology and really have a positive impact with not just people around you, but in 34 countries. And that's really leveraging the network marketing model. So if you're deciding to join us as a business builder, but you're thinking, hey, I would love to make some extra money. I know a ton of people that would need this technology, but I don't know what to do really. Well, don't worry. We have a 60-day game plan that literally takes you step by step by step on how to get started, how to get your business profitable as fast as possible. You'll have access to an interactive marketing app that really automates the process, so it makes it very, very simple. And remember, you don't need to quit your job to do this, right? You get this part-time. And in regular conversations, we constantly hear people complain about stuff. They're low energy. They have pain. They feel stress. It's an easy fix. It's an easy add-on to the conversation you're already having to plug in the VT. Have you ever heard of the VTT technology? You need to check this out, right? So you'll have access to amazing incentive trips and rewards. The compensation plan of Super Patch is phenomenal, and it pays well, but it pays in much more than just money. It also pays in experiences. So this is one of the last trips we went on in Cancun, at the Live Aqua in Cancun, all inclusive. 500 of us were there in Cancun, partying it up, having fun, creating amazing memories, simply because we earned this trip by sharing the VTT technology of Super Patch with a few individuals, and we changed some lives, and we earned that amazing trip. So 4 nights at an all-inclusive 5-diamond resort in Cancun. So if you want to be part of that, it's very simple. You just got to share this technology with people that are searching for solutions that are drug-free, that are simple to use, that are affordable. Very simple. All you got to do is share this technology by inviting people on Zooms like this or talking to the person who invited you, right? So there's different ways to get started. If you want to get started as a business builder with us, there's different ways to get started. There's the Quick, the Omega, the Flex 40. My personal favorite is the Flex 40 because the Quick and Omega, you cannot choose the patches that comes inside the kit, right? The uniqueness of the Flex 40 is that you get to choose the combination of 40 packs of packages. By the way, there's 30 patches in each of those packs, so that's 1 month supply. Each pack of patches is 1 month supply, and you have 40 inside that Flex 40. That's why it's called Flex 40, and it gives you the flexibility of choosing the right combination for you, for your family, for your friends, for your circles. So maybe you hang out with people that are athletes. Maybe you want 10 of the victory patches. Maybe you hang around people that are always in pain. Maybe you want 20 of the freedom patches, right? So you can select the right patches for you and your audience. This gives you the best profit margins out of all the different kits. You can see For $1,500, you have almost $4,000 worth of technology. So amazing, amazing profit margin. Enough patches for you to sell in person or sample, right? And it helps you to take part into this $500 billion market that we are building. It took $40 million to create, 17 years to create, and we can participate in this for only $1,500, right? Not $10,000, not $100,000 like many businesses, like many turnkey operation businesses. This is literally turnkey. The minute you place your order, your replicated website is functional right away. Before you even receive your patches, your online store is working. You can send your link to somebody in Paris, in New York, in Chicago, in Madrid, anywhere in those 34 countries. And when they click on it and they place an order, the company will fulfill that order for you. You receive an email and saying, hey, thanks for sharing the amazing technology of Superpatch. Here's how much we owe you for that new customer. That's it. It's that simple. And we have a unique way for you to earn your first $1,885 in a matter of 1 week, right? And so ask the person who invited you to tell you how that works. It's very, very simple. So in a matter of 7 days, you can have a profitable business. Now, this is a lot of information. I believe you have enough information right now to make a decision. You're here on the Zoom right now because you're looking for something more. Better quality of life, better performance in the gym, more energy, a better quality sleep, more money in the bank account, more money in your family, whatever the case may be, you're looking for something more. And as we're entering 2026, if you want your year 2026 to be drastically different and better than 2025, you're going to have to do something different, right? So partnering with something as unique and disruptive as the VTT technology of Superpatch is a really, really good idea. When I saw this, I realized that in my lifetime, I missed a lot of opportunities. I missed Amazon. I missed Google. I missed Facebook. I missed Bitcoin. There's a lot of opportunities that I missed. And when I saw this, I'm like, this is a technology that I don't want to miss. I don't want to be that one more thing that I discovered that I missed. And so that's why I decided on December 1st, 2023 to jump in with both feet and really push this to the world, because the world needs a drug-free solution for all these problems. So make a decision, call back the person who invited you on this call, let them know what you like best about this presentation, and ask all your questions. Whatever questions you have, ask all your questions. And for some reason, if they don't know the answer to your questions, because maybe they started a week ago or 20 minutes before this call and they don't have all the answers, that's perfectly fine. They'll be able to put you in touch with somebody that will have all the answers that you need to get started the best way and to make this the most profitable thing you're going to be doing in 2026 and having the biggest impact that you probably had in your whole life in 2026, thanks to this amazing technology that can help billions of people. So with that, call the person that invited you, let them know what you like best, and I cannot wait to hear about your amazing results and maybe seeing you at our kickoff convention for 2026 in Vegas, February 6 and 7. So with that, my name is Eric Laquerre. Have a fantastic night, everybody. See you next week.